To keep yourself updated, subscribe to IndigoLearn and click the bell icon.
So friends, today we are going to look at an introduction to cost and management accounting. Let's first take an example and understand what are the basic concepts and what is the context in which we have to learn this chapter. Let's take an example. Say your birthday is approaching in the next month and you want to throw a party to your friends. So you decide that you want to throw a birthday party, you want to organize a party and you want to take your friends out for a movie followed by dinner. So what do? You quickly go to your parents and you tell your parents, look, I am planning to organize a party and maybe I will require some money in the coming month. So your parents tell you, okay, wonderful, that's a great idea, no problem. You can organize a birthday party. So kindly do us a small favor, prepare an estimate of the money that you will be requiring to organize this birthday party, so that in the next month, we can plan for this money and we can make it available. We can give it to you whenever required. So what you do, you come back to your room and immediately you take out a pen, paper and a calculator. You start calculating. So the first thing that you decide is the number of friends that you want to call. Whom do you want to include? Whom do you want to exclude? You think very carefully and you start making a list of your important friends. So you prepare this list and you calculate that there are about 9 friends whom you want to invite for the party. So including you, there will be 10 people who will be attending this birthday party. Then the next thing that you do is you identify the movie which you all want to go. You find out what are the upcoming movies, you select a good hero and based on your taste, you select a good movie. The next thing that you are going to do, you are going to find out what is the price of the ticket. You go to the theatre's website and you quickly find out the price of the tickets. You find out that the price per ticket is 100 rupees. So you quickly take the pen and the paper and you start noting down. 10 people, 9 friends plus 1 you. So totally 10. 10 friends into 100 rupees per ticket. Totally we will have to spend 1000 rupees on the movie tickets. The next thing that you do, you go to the hotel and you ask the hotel manager, I want to organize a party for 10 people. Can you kindly give me a quotation for dinner? The hotel manager says, I will organize the dinner. These are going to be the items in the menu. But for this, I am going to charge you 200 rupees per person. So quickly you take out your pen and paper again and you write down 200 rupees per person into 10 people, that is going to be 2000. So one, you have 100 rupees per person into 10, 1000 movie ticket, 200 per person into 10, 2000 dinner cost. Apart from this, you also make an estimate that in order to go from your house to the theatre, from the theatre to the hotel and from the hotel back to your house, you will require some transport cost. You quickly calculate what is the cost required and you make an estimate of 1000 rupees that you have to spend on the transportation. So what are the 3 items that we have discussed? 1000 rupees on the tickets, 2000 rupees on the food and another 1000 rupees on the transport. So if you add up, your total estimate of the party is going to come to 4000 rupees. Now you go to your parents and you tell them, I am planning to organize this party as I had told you earlier and my estimate is that we will be requiring 4000 rupees. You give your list to your parents, they go through the list and they say, okay, no problem. When your birthday comes the next month, you please come to us, we will give you this 4000 rupees. So once your parents tell you okay, immediately what you do is you call up all your friends and you tell them that the party is organized, everything has been planned for and on that big day, they have to just come, go for a movie, have dinner, enjoy the moment and come back. So each one of your friends is very excited and they are waiting for the day to come. Now, your birthday has finally come, the big day has arrived. On this day, as per the plan, you go to your parents, you take the 4000 rupees from them, arrange for the transport, go to the movie, purchase the tickets for 1000 rupees, 100 per person into 10. Then after watching the movie, you are really excited, you enjoyed it a lot. Then you go to the hotel, you have your dinner, pay the bill of 2000 rupees, 200 per person into 10. Then you come back home and pay for the transport 1000 rupees. So totally you had asked for 4000 and you have spent the 4000 rupees. Now what are you left with? You are left with nothing. So friends, what have we done here? We have made an estimate, we have made a plan of what is the money that we are going to spend. So this estimate that we have made of the money that we are going to spend is called as the process of costing. And once you spend the money, and if you start writing down what is the amount of money that you have spent, then we will call it as cost accounting. I mean, first you are going to estimate what is the money that you are going to spend. You are trying to add up all the items on which you have to spend money, and you are trying to arrive at the total. This process of arriving at the total money to be spent is going to be called as costing. And once you spend the money, if you start recording the transactions, if you start recording, okay, I have paid 1000 rupees for the ticket, we have paid 2000 rupees for the hotel, and we have paid 1000 rupees towards the transport, this process, the exercise of writing it down and making a summary, it is going to be called as cost accounting. So we have costing and we have cost accounting. Now one more thing that we have to understand is the term cost. What is cost? Any amount of money that you are spending. So in this case, when you paid money for the ticket, or when you paid money for the hotel, or when you paid money for the transport, what you are doing, you are actually spending the money. So any amount of money that you are going to spend, it is going to be called as cost. As simple as that. So spending money is called as cost. Planning, estimating, understanding how much money you are going to spend, it is going to be called as costing. And the entire process of writing, summarizing and recording what is the money that you have spent is going to be called as cost accounting. Now, say the friends who attended your birthday party, they liked your party a lot. They went to the college and they started talking about your party with the other friends, and eventually this news reached the principal of the college. Now the principal of the college calls you and he tells you, look, I have heard about your organizing skills. Let's do one thing. The college was planning to, organize a trip to a museum. I want to delegate this to you. I want you to take care of this entire trip, and I want you to organize the trip to the museum for the entire batch of your college. So you tell the principal of the college that you will be more than happy to do this, provided the money is given to you by the college for organizing the trip, and second, the number of students are known. So the principal, he tells you that you please organize it for 100 students and don't worry about the money. Whatever is the cost that you are going to incur, whatever is the money that you are going to be spending, that amount the college will collect from the students and then give it to you. In light of this discussion, the principal is requesting you to give a quotation. The principal is asking you to, calculate what is the amount of money that the college should collect from each student so that the trip to the museum can be organized. So what you will do? Again, you will quickly take your pen, paper and calculator and you will start totaling what is the cost that we have to incur. So quickly you find out the details. You estimate the cost of, organizing the bus for the transport from the college to the museum is, let's say, 10,000. Then you find out the entry ticket of the museum is going to cost you 50 rupees per student. So you quickly calculate 100 students into 50, 5,000 is going to be the cost of entry to the museum. Then next, you find out what is the cost of arranging lunch and other food arrangements. You find out that it is going to be 200 rupees per student. Quickly you calculate 200 into 100 students, 20,000 is going to be the cost of food and other arrangements. And then you total up all the items, 10,000 towards transport, 5,000 towards entry, 20,000 towards food, total is going to be 35,000. So the total amount that you are estimating that we are going to spend is how much? It is 35,000. Now, with this 35,000 that we have, how many students are going to go to the museum? 100 students are going to go. So if we have to calculate what is the money that each student has to give, what we will do? We will take the total 35,000 and divide this 35,000 by 100 students. We will arrive at 350 rupees per student as the money that we should be collecting from the student. So now what will happen? The college will collect 350 from each student. 350 into 100, 35,000. This 35,000 will be given to you. What will you do with this 35,000? You will start spending the money. You will give 10,000 to the transport guy, you will give 20,000 for food and you will give 5,000 for the entry, and you will make a statement of whatever money that you have spent, prepare a statement and submit it to the college principal. Again, what we have done here? First we have estimated what is going to be the cost involved. This exercise is going to be called as costing, and then we have prepared a statement of account. this exercise is called as cost accounting. So what is the purpose of this costing and cost accounting? It is going to help us in understanding what is the extent of money, what is the amount of money that we have to spend, what is the cost that we have to incur in order to carry out certain activity. Now what is going to be this activity? So if we talk about a real business scenario, what are the business organizations doing? They are either selling some goods or they are rendering some service. So when we talk about costing and when we talk about cost in business terms, it is going to be any amount of money that we spend in order to either create a product or in order to render a service. So this is the technical definition of cost. Cost is any amount of money spent in order to create a product or in order to render a service. So friends, just to summarize the two examples that we have discussed, what is cost? Cost is any amount of money that we are going to spend. What is costing? The process of determining what is the cost that we have either spent or what we are going to spend. That is called as the costing. And then if we talk about cost accounting, the process of recording all the cost, whatever we have incurred, this entire process of recording cost and making a statement, making a summary is going to be called as cost accounting. You may get a doubt, you may be thinking that we do something similar to recording the transactions even in accounts. When we talk about financial accounts, the financial accounting is also talking about the art of recording, summarizing, classifying and so on of transactions. So how is cost accounting different from financial accounting? You may get a doubt, is it the same thing? Whatever we are doing in financial accounting, are we going to do the same thing in cost accounting? The answer is no. Now, you need to understand a very important point. In financial accounting, yes, in financial accounting, we are going to record, summarize, classify, etc. the transactions, but these are the transactions which have occurred in the past. Alright, financial accounting comes into picture once the transactions have taken place. You can record the transactions once the transaction is complete, not before that. However, when we come to cost accounting, we are saying we are going to prepare an estimate of cost. We are saying we are going to prepare a summary of the cost that we are going to incur, or we are going to prepare a statement of whatever we have incurred. So here the important point is costing can also be done before the transaction has taken place. Whereas in finance, in accounts, you are not going to record the transactions before the transactions have actually taken place. So if the transaction is in between, first comes cost accounting, where you can make an estimate of what are the items, what are the transactions, what are the costs that you are going to incur in order to take up a transaction. And once the transaction has taken place, then if you summarize, then we are talking about cost accounting and financial accounting. So costing is going to play a dual role, both before the transaction and after the transaction, estimating what are the costs involved, and then preparing a summary of whatever money that we have spent. This is the entire objective of cost accounting. So friends, let's extend our example a little bit and now let's make it like a real life business example. Let's say the principal of your college liked the event that you organized a lot, and he started spreading the information about your good work to the principals of other colleges. Let's say some other college principal now wants to organize some picnic for his college students. So what he has done, he has now approached you. He is saying, look, I heard about you, you have good organization skills and I like the way that you organize events. First I heard about your birthday party and then through your principal I also heard about the event that you did for your own college. I want to now engage you. I want to take help from you. I want your suggestion and I want you to handle the entire trip of our college. You were very excited. You said something that I just started off as an interest and as a passion, something that I just wanted to do for my own birthday. Slowly it got extended to my college and now you cannot believe it. You are getting offers from other colleges and other college principals are asking you to do this organization. You start thinking about it seriously and then you come up with a super plan. You say, this is something that I like to do. Why not? Let me make a business out of it. So you quickly go to a chartered accountant and you ask this chartered accountant friend of yours to set up a company for you. So this chartered accountant quickly incorporates a company for you and now you start doing the event management business. So you go back to the principal of that other college who had approached you and you now tell him, sir, I am having an event management company and I do this organization by charging some amount of fee. I will be more than happy to organize an event for your college. Can you please tell me the details of the event that you want to organize? Where do you want to take your students to? How many students you want to organize for? And what are the kind of food and other requirements that you have? If you can just give me a detail, I will tell you what is the amount of money that you have to spend in order to organize this entire trip. So the principal of that other college, what he does is he quickly makes an estimate. He says, I want a trip to be organized for 50 students and I want to take these 50 students to a water park, to a theme park. Alright, these students should be able to go there, enjoy the rides, have fun, and they should be able to spend the entire day. And after having spent the entire day, we are going to drop them back to the college from where they can go to their respective homes. So you tell the principal of that other college that you will require a day's time to go back, work upon the items and the details and come back with a quotation as to what is the amount of money that you have to spend for organizing this entire trip. Now, as usual, what you do, you take out your pen, paper and calculator. You quickly start making some notes and you start estimating, you start assessing what is the amount of money that has to be spent. You first call up the water park, you make some inquiry, you tell them that there is a bunch of 50 people who is interested in coming to the water park and you request for a quotation from them. They tell you that the entry fee for the water park is 1000 rupees per person. How much? 1000 rupees per person. So what do? You quickly note down 50 students into 1000 rupees per student. 50,000 is the amount of money that you will have to spend towards the entrance fee for the water park. Second, you find out that in order to accommodate this 50 students, you will require a bus which is going to transport, which is going to help in moving the 50 students from the college to the water park. You find out the rate for this bus. So you find out the transport cost for arranging the bus from the college till the water park, and you find out that we have to spend 10,000 rupees on this transportation cost. So 50,000 towards entrance fee, 10,000 towards cost of transportation. Apart from this, you also make an estimate that we will be spending about 200 rupees per person on making food and other arrangements. We will be spending about 50 students into 200 per person, 10,000. So what is the total amount of money? 50,000 for entrance fee, 10,000 for transport and 10,000 for the food and other arrangements. Totally we will now be spending 70,000. Now you quickly start thinking. You go back to the first two events in your life. First was the birthday party. There it was your own party, so you took money from your parents and you spent the money for the party. There was no third person involved. You did not think about earning or you did not think about making some profit out of this transaction. Even in the second case, when your college principal approached you, you were like, this is my college, I am also going to be a part of the trip and there are my friends only in the trip. So again that thought of profit did not come to you. But here now you have set up a company. You are here to do this event management business. You not only want to recover the cost, but what you also want is you want some amount of profit. So now we estimate, let's say we want about 10,000 rupees of profit from this transaction. So what we will do is slowly, silently, we will add 10,000 rupees as the amount towards profit. So 70,000 money that we have to spend and 10,000 rupees that we have to earn as profit. Totally how much amount we are going to get? We are going to get a total amount of 80,000. Now what we do is we divide this 80,000 by how many total number of students? 50. So if we make a calculation, 80,000 by 50 students, how much are we going to get? We get rupees 1600 per student. So we immediately go back to the principal of that other college and we tell him, sir, I have done all the calculations. According to me, if you can give me 1600 rupees per student, I will organize the entire trip and your students will for sure enjoy the entire trip. The college principal says okay and he goes ahead and he gives you the green signal. Then what happens? The college principal, he collects 1600 per student from 50 students, collects the total 80,000, gives this 80,000 to you. Out of this 80,000, you will give 10,000 towards transport cost, you will give 50,000 towards entrance fee and you will pay 10,000 towards food and other cost. So you will end up paying 70,000, you will still be left with 10,000 which is going to be your profit. Now, talking about costing and cost accounting, this entire exercise of estimating, evaluating and totaling up, ascertaining what is the cost is going to help a business understand as to what is the amount of money that it is spending on either creating the products or in order to provide a service. And once it is having an understanding of what is the cost, only then it can add some markup, only then it can add some element of profit and determine what is the price that it should charge from its customers. Very small nutshell, this costing is going to talk about what are the revenues that we are going to get, what are the earnings that we are going to get, what is the cost that we are going to incur, and if we take the difference between the earnings and the cost, what we are going to get? We are going to get a profit. So costing is going to help us in understanding what the cost should be, what the price should be, and what is the profit that we are going to make on the transaction. So friends, now let us summarize the understanding that we have obtained and look at some basic definitions. What is cost? Cost is any amount of money that we are going to incur, any amount of expenditure incurred in order to either create a product in case of a manufacturing company or in order to render a service in case of a service company. Then, if cost is the amount of money spent, what is costing? The process of calculating or determining how much is the money spent, this is going to be called as the process of costing. So when we try to understand the amount of money spent, we are going to call it as costing. Now if cost is the money spent, costing is the process of determining how much money is spent, then what is cost accounting? Cost accounting is nothing but the recording of the transactions that are related to the amount spent in order to create a product or in order to render a service. So if we sit down peacefully and make a list of the money that we have spent, this process is going to be called as the process of cost accounting. So why do we have to maintain cost records? Why do we have to do this cost accounting? What is the objective? What is the purpose? What are we trying to achieve? So if you look at the objectives of cost accounting, the first and the foremost objective is to determine the cost of the product or to determine the cost of the service that we have rendered. See, if we don't maintain these records, then how will we understand what is the amount of money that we have actually spent? Maybe costing will help you in ascertaining how much you have to spend, but whether you have spent as per the estimate or you have spent more than the estimate, less than the estimate, how will you understand? You will understand only if you prepare a statement and then compare the statement with the estimate that you had. So for this purpose, for determining what is the cost, we need to maintain the cost accounts. Second, now if you have to determine what was the profit that you have actually achieved, for that also we need what is the revenue that we were able to earn and what is the amount of money that we have spent. Even in order to determine the profitability, we will have to prepare the cost accounting. Third, let us say a customer is coming to you and he is asking for a quotation. He is asking you to give a price at which you want to sell your products. How will you do that? For that you will have to do some determination. For that you will have to do some assessment. You will have to do some estimation. For this purpose again we will have to require costing and cost accounting. Now fourth, one more important objective of this cost accounting is to do cost control. See, when you wanted to throw a birthday party, you said we are going to incur a certain cost. You estimated your cost to be incurred and then you actually started spending. If I have to check whether the amount spent was as per the original estimate or not, then I need some accounts, I need some records. If the cost was not as per the original amount, if the cost was not as per the estimate that I had done, then what we will have to do? We will have to understand the reason for the variance. We will have to understand the reason for the difference. Why did we spend more? Why did we spend less? We will understand the reason and then we will ensure that in the next period or next time when we throw a birthday party, this kind of differences should not arise. So here we are trying to control the cost. We are trying to ensure that the cost that we are actually spending are matching with the cost that we had estimated. So the other purpose is going to be cost control. Then the final objective of cost accounting is going to be cost reduction. If you try to understand what is the present cost and if you want to reduce the cost that you are going to spend in the future, let us say in a particular period you have created a product and for making this product you have spent 100 rupees. You want to reduce the cost of this product from 100 to let us say 90. Then what do you have to do? You will have to identify where you have spent the money and you will have to identify where you can do some cost cutting. where you can save some cost, where you can reduce some cost. Maybe you will reduce the cost of the raw material that you have used, or maybe you will reduce the amount of money that you have paid to your workers. So how much money we have to reduce, where we can reduce, that we can understand only if we are keeping a track of what has been spent. So the main objectives of cost accounting are determination of price, determination of cost, determination of profitability, cost control and cost reduction.